Hello, everyone. So this is Pastor Gene Kim, and in 2025, I want to announce that Campaigns for Christ, they're having several missionary endeavors, and it is my great burden where Bible believers around the world can participate in these campaigns and try to reach souls out there. I believe that us Bible believers, we are not doing enough, and we're not really following what God commanded us to go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. So the mindset of Christians should be a global perspective to reach all the world with the gospel. Now in 2025, what's happening to churches is that they're turning from a global perspective into a local perspective, then into a self perspective where they're isolated and all alone. And now it's become more dangerous into a virtual perspective where you're staying in isolation and looking at everything online. It's become that dangerous, and the devil, what he wants us is to become isolated and bound into a virtual thing. And as we all know, as 2025 is coming, that the devil's job is to make everyone into a virtual reality in receiving the mark of the beast, and his minions are becoming more global. That's why the globalists, as we can see, they're taking over more, setting up the kingdom for the Antichrist when he comes. And that's really sad that the church has fallen into apostasy and become even smaller and smaller in perspective, where it's divided, broken, and fallen into prey for the devil and into the flesh. And his minions, the devil's minions, are becoming more global. They're spreading their own gospel victoriously and brainwashing so many people with liberal propaganda and all kinds of wickedness. Now, the problem with many Christians is that because they think Trump won and the Republicans won and America's going to become a Christian nation, but it doesn't change the fact that apostasy will grow. Trump is not going to stop the Antichrist from coming and the globalist agenda. It's still going to happen no matter what, because the Bible prophesied that. The Bible prophesied in the last days it shall get worse and worse, not better and better. So Christians got to see that the victory is not within voting for a Republican. That's not the greatest victory of all. Now, don't get me wrong. I am thankful living in America for the freedom that the Lord has given to us in this temporary moment. I'm more than thankful for that. But a lot of people don't understand that that doesn't solve all the world's problem. That's not going to backfire or be a great attack against the globalist agenda. It doesn't matter who's in power. The globalists, especially those preparing the way for the Antichrist, they are going to find ways to get the Antichrist in. And they're going to be the ones who will win victorious at the end in politics and taking over the world. But Jesus Christ is the one who's going to take over the kingdom at the end, after the Antichrist reigns, after the tribulation, not now during the church. But this is something you can do to go against Satan's wicked globalist agenda that's taking over all the world and everything is becoming more apostate. How you can backfire against him, and I've seen it, and Bible believers have seen it, where the devil hated this and tried to stop this and attack this, is to be part of this global spread of the gospel. And the campaigns is the number one best thing that I ever saw in my life. Now, I know that our internet ministry has reached globally, many with Bible-believing truth and the gospel, and I'm traveling and ministering to those people, and I've seen those people end up in Bible-believing churches around the world. This is a global perspective. So I'm just so thankful to the Lord for that, but that's not enough. We need a called out assembly. That's what a church is. The church needs to take a part in it, not one man. We need a called out assembly of believers who go around the world and then help out spread the gospel. Now, all you have to do, it's very simple in this campaigns. You go to their website, Campaigns for Christ, and I'll be sure to put a link in the comment section here below. All you have to do is apply for that and then pay the money. The only requirement is that you're part of a local church. Obviously, we don't want anyone who's a weirdo to come in because, as you know, when you get online, you don't know what strange person is out there. So that's the reason why, as you all know, parents have been protective of their children when children communicate with others online, because we don't know what kind of predators, what kind of dangerous people, or just really strange people in the head are out there that can cause problems. So that's the reason why the application will have the local church requirement, because that way they can see that the person is trusted by the pastor of the local church there and that the person won't cause any problems. So I hope y'all will understand that. But it should be simple for any person out there, especially a Bible believer who's attending a local church, that all you have to do is just sign up for that and then make sure to mention about your local church background with the pastor's letter behind it to prove it, and you should be fine. They're willing to take in anybody for this. I mean, even people who have poor health problems. There was an elderly man who would bring his bag with him where the tubes are sticking in him, and he participated in this campaigns. And all they're doing is passing out John and Romans materials, passing out tracts. And believe it or not, they really, really work. There are people who get saved. There are people who end up in Bible-believing churches because of a simple act like that. If you can just participate that, make time out of your schedule for, I think, about 2 weeks, just for that, it is incredibly life-changing. Imagine that this spread throughout other parts of the world 4 times a year. And that's what the campaign's goal is to do that 4 times a year. Imagine doing that. Then do you know how much it would ruin the devil's agenda? Where he loses his own children, where they get saved. And not only that, they don't get caught up with the globalist agenda, but rather get caught up with a local Bible-believing church movement. Be a part of that, start spiritually growing, get right doctrine, not get deceived, and do things for the Lord. Nothing makes the devil more angry than that, and nothing can foul up the devil's plan more than that. But unfortunately now we are getting to a point where even Bible believers, sadly, are not doing things globally. They're not participating in this global effort. That's very, very sad. They're either thinking just from their local regional terrain, that's very limited, and worse, in an isolated terrain, that's virtual. That's the worst part. So we can't think like that. Now, don't get me wrong. The Lord has mightily used the local church, and he has used the internet to reach people out there. And he does use people's prayers for the missionaries and the financial giving of people for the missionaries. He mightily uses those things, but it still pales in comparison with a person, especially a called out assembly, a group of people who are united together to go out to places around the world and actually give the gospel to those people. Okay? Because just one missionary is not going to cover the ground in that foreign area compared to 10 people, especially 10 people who are united in a cause together. That motivates each other. Missionaries and preachers out there, local church pastors and missionaries who are even local themselves because they're only stuck in that foreign country area, it's not enough. They get easily discouraged because they're alone out there and they need fellowship. They need other Bible believers out there to unite with them and help them. So this is part of the reason why I travel. It's because it keeps me fresh in my goals, the right goals in mind to reach people out there. It also encourages me even more so in my own local church. It makes me more faithful, more committed to my own local church, to my local area. It actually makes me think more global in my local area. So a lot of times preachers can just think so locally that it makes them only more limited in scope in their local area. They don't do more things that can reach people in their local area. So that's the reason why I do this. It's for me, and that's why I practice this. And now I don't want people to misunderstand this as me condemning other Bible-believing pastors or missionaries who are committed to their local areas and are unable to participate in this event. So far be it from that, all right? Whatever God called you to be in, God called you to be in. But I'm just telling you what I do and my conviction, and this is why I practice this. What the goal of this video is to tell you people out there is if you have an opportunity and the Lord gives it to you to participate in this global thing, but you prevent yourself from doing that because of your limited scope, then that's where you're in the wrong. That's where you're in the wrong. But if it's not the Lord's will behind it and he doesn't give you opportunity, then I'm not telling you to go against the will of God, okay? Far be it from that. But I want to encourage people out there that this is such a great opportunity, rare chance. You don't want to blow it. I mean, when the globalists take over, the Antichrist takes over, and the rapture happens, and you lose this chance again, it ain't worth it. There was that one elderly brother that I've heard who participated in the campaigns, and he was glad that he was able to go. It was like a once in a lifetime for him in spite of his poor health. And guess what? Soon thereafter, he went home to be with the Lord. I'm sure that when he went home to be with the Lord, he went in without regrets. He was glad that, man, I'm so glad I went on that campaign trip. I mean, he would have lost his chance in a lifetime. I hope that you won't be that type of person and that you'll participate in this. Please apply for the campaigns, participate in that. There are still volunteers that they need. Fill it out, man. Fill it out, all right? Show the world out there. Let's be a good testimony as Bible believers. Show the world out there that us Bible believers, that we're more united in our cause. We're more fired up in our cause in a global perspective, reaching out people over there. Let's not prove the devil right, that the liberal news media, that the wicked colleges and universities and the wicked governments, that they're, and the World Health Organization, and then the Council, Ecumenical Council of Churches, and United Nations, and then the World Organization, that they're more fired up in their global causes, in their global works. Let's not prove the devil right on that. Let's prove us Bible believers can do that.